3, 2. What is up, everybody? It's Little Matt with Ham House Sports. We have Big Matt here. It is Christmas Eve at the Ham House.
Christmas Eve will find you.
Why'd you have to do
Sorry,
that?
keep going.
Anyway, today we're looking back on it. We've been wanting to do a reel for a while, but we finally came up with the idea we wanted to do. And we're going to do the top 5 favorite cards that we've owned in 2025
Ooh.
and the top 5 card moments this year.
Cards
So,
and card moments.
Cards and card moments. So
who's going first here?
I'll go first. So we're going cards. So number 5 for me is it's just one card. The 2014 Stephen Curry Kaboom. And I own 4 of these.
How is this not your number one?
Not my number one?
How is it not your number one?
So Big Matt was kind of bummed when he saw that one sold on Alt Liquid Auctions for $31,900. Same card I sold for $10,000.
It's a 9.5.
A 9.5. And I also had 3 PSA 9s and a Raw. So I had 5 of that card that I sold. I'd say for an average of like $7,000 each. And one just did $32,000. So that's one of them on there. All right, Big Matt.
Already? Okay. Number 5 for me would be the Jim Thorpe, the 1933. What was it called? The Sports
Kings.
Sports Kings. That was just such a cool card to have. You really realize you're holding a piece of history, and that was a special card. So the number 5 for me would be the
story, like how we were just in Charlotte for the day,
for the day. Guy who had it made the deal, and we ended up selling it to a gentleman who it's going to be in his PC. He's a big vintage collector. He's been looking for one, so that was super cool.
All right, number 4 for me, I got to go with my guy again, Steph Curry. That Topps Fresh Label PSA 10 I had. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not that the card went up in value. It went up in value probably $4,000 since I sold it. But I genuinely believe that card and that grade, I think it would have gotten an NBA Gold Diamond on it if I would have sent it to Mike Baker. And I think that card has possibility to be like a $30,000 card one day. And that card, man, it like actually pains me to say because I got it at a great number. I saw a like bad place in the market on that card, but they were doing $5,000. And yeah, I mean, I should not have sold that one. So that's my number 4. Dad?
Number 4 for me would be probably the Shohei deal.
Why is that number 4, man?
That was a big deal.
Dude, those cards are worth $100,000 now.
I don't know. They're not my favorite cards. I don't like Shohei Topps Chrome personally. I don't like the image on them. But had a situation where there was a gentleman who was relatively local, did not want to sell and mail. I happened to be going to a golf tournament that got snowed out. So I ended up meeting the gentleman in person, made an in-person deal for 2 Shohei Topps Chrome. They were big cards for us. We didn't really intend on holding them long term. We ended up selling them with another Shohei card, made some money on them, and then they went to the moon. Yeah. But looking back on it, just 2 Shohei rookie autos, buying both at the same time. And the guy's story was just crazy. He had opened the pack with his daughter, had him since 2018. Anyway, and I think his daughter ended up passing away. So it was just really kind of a wild and very unique situation.
Yep. My number 3 is the Shohei Topps Chromes. But I think the crazy part was, so we sold the PSA 10 for I think 14, and we sold the 9 for about $6,000. We sold those for 20. The PSA 10 just sold for $59,000.
Really?
Yep, and the 9, let's just say it's half that, like $25,000. But the other card that I sold with it was the blue Bowman Chrome batting in a 9.5. But the crazier part about that was I bought it in a PSA 8 for $2,000. Sent it with our boy Dan Palumbo to Dallas to cross.
Cracked it.
Got a 9.5. Sold that one, for $5,000. That one's doing over $20,000 right now. So
left a lot of money on the table.
Yeah,
a lot of money on the table.
Really?
Where am I at? Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3 for me this year. Racking my brain. The 3.5 Mantle 53 Topps was. I'm going to put that one there. We had purchased a 53 3.5 Topps years ago from our buddy Terry Keller, really right when we got into the hobby.
It was the first big card we bought.
It was the first card over $5,000 that we had really ever bought. Yeah. And bought it and kind of was like, oh my gosh, this is a huge card. And
broke even on it.
Ended up throwing it on eBay, over our ask, and it got snatched up and it got gone. We ended up buying a 3 from our buddy Hutch that we had for quite a bit, and saw the 3.5 pop up. So we upgraded to the 3.5, and sure enough, the 3.5 got snatched up off of eBay as well, just because it was a great centered copy. But I love Mantle stuff. 53 Tops is one of my favorite.
All right, number 2 for me is the 7 Connor Griffin oranges I've owned this year. I did the math. I've owned 7 Connor Griffin oranges, and I've sold them everywhere from $1,800 all the way up to they're around $10,000 right now. So Connor Griffin oranges. I remember the Bowman Farmer calling me last year when Connor Griffin oranges were literally $1,700, and he's like, "Let's buy every single one." So I went and bought my first, sold it to him, and yeah, I mean those cards. I mean, could you imagine? I probably all 7 and the countless blues and golds we've owned to Connor Griffin orange. That's my number 2.
Was the holiday gold this year?
Nope, that was January of 24.
24 January?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was this year. So next card for me, number 2, would probably be getting the Michael Jordan Fleer back.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that one.
Early in 2023, you guys know the story. We purchased a Michael Jordan Fleer and a Michael Jordan Star Pack from a friend. Ended up selling both of those and have regretted it ever since.
Mm-hmm.
The Fleer stayed in the possession of the previous owner, and he sold the Star, and we can't afford the Star anymore. But I said, I want that Fleer back. So the Fleer we bought back was the Fleer that really started Ham House Sports. It's on our shelf, and we will not sell it.
It's the dollar bill of Ham House Sports. You know how everyone has the dollar bill tape behind them? That's the dollar bill of Ham House Sports.
Yep.
My number 1 is a card. What's funny to me is I didn't make that much money on it. And so the Mahomes Gold Downtown that I owned, that card I bought in June. My plan was take it to Fanatics Fest, have a good. But my plan before that was to cross it. It was a Beckett 9.
Nobody wanted it.
No one, because I got a Beckett 9. Sent it to PSA. My friends at PSA did not help me out there. So I ended up sending it to SGC. SGC gave it an 8.5. I ended up selling it for $5,500 after grading fees. Like I really broke even on it. That card, even though he still hurts, probably pushing $20,000 right now.
Yeah. Which card this year hurts the most?
Those Curry Kabooms. Just because.
Just wish you had one of them.
Just one, because even if I just would have kept one, and because I had conviction on that card before. Like the reason I went and bought the Curry Kabooms was because lowest pop Kaboom. There's no PSA 10s. Like I had a strategy in my mind to buy them, and I just flipped them. Our buddy Dave's always getting on me. He's like, "You have the right ideas, but you just can't hold on to them long enough." So Dave's gonna watch this, and he's gonna prove his point.
Can't stay in the game. The number 1 card for the year for Ham House Sports. I did not look. I didn't do my research.
You said you were ready.
Kind of off of memory here. I'm trying to think. I would say that the card this year that I have owned that I remember the most.
I thought you were going to say something for number 1, but
what did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say the Trout because we watched him hit a home run in Yankee Stadium while holding up that card.
The refractor. That one was up there. But actually, this isn't probably my number 1, but it is the number 1 that I didn't buy that I wish I would have bought.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say.
It was the PMG, Cal Ripken Jr.
It really makes me cringe every time I think about it.
At Fanatics Fest, I saw it. I passed on it at 10K.
PSA 8, $10,000.
10K. Passed on it. And then a PSA 6 just did 15K at auction.
Probably 20.
I don't think I'll ever see that card again. But that one was just one of those as a Ripken collector. You see these cards, and what you learn about cards, at least what I've learned about cards, is there's cards that are readily available. You can get them. If you have the capital and you have the connections, you can get them. And then there's cards that you can have all the capital you want and all the connections you want, and you just probably won't get them. And the Ripken PMG is one of those cards. So it's literally a ghost card. Probably won't see it. If you do, it'll be on auction. It'll be super expensive. So anyway, that's probably the one that stands out to me the most.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so now we're going a different route. Cards, but we're going our favorite card moments. So moments in cards are our favorite moments of 2025. So I'll kick us off at number 5. I'm on eBay one day, searching around. I look on eBay a lot, and I see a Steph Curry 2015 Kaboom listed. And I'm like, geez, this kind of looks fake. Text the guy. Oh, I pulled this out of a blaster in 2014. I ended up buying that card on eBay for $2,000.
You did.
And I ended up selling it for more than that. But it's just a story that how the kid pulled it, has had
What
it.
did it get, a 7?
Got a 7. But like that card
That's the one we graded at the National,
graded
right?
at the National, yep. But I mean, that card's still just, it's a cool card in the story because the guy pulled it. It's just super cool. So,
yeah, that was neat. Number 5 for me, card moment. I would probably say Fanatics Fest this year. Fanatics Fest this year. Yep. Fanatics Fest this year was just really unique. Being able to go, being able to, have some access with Fanatics through the Sports Card CEO. Man, just, you're in the room with Brady, you're in the room with Jay-Z, all that kind of stuff is super overwhelming. But little Matt and I had a great time in New York City. It was just unique. It was just like, man, we're right in the middle of the card hobby.
Can't forget about the VIP lounge.
Yeah, and that was super cool. So I would say Fanatics Fest was probably number 5.
Number 5. All right. My number 4 is getting 2 of the 5 Luis Pena Reds out of the product release. I mean, he was our main guy we were chasing, and to get 2 Reds out of product release, I mean, that's a pretty big moment. Because, we never really dealt in the red game until Bubba and Kern, we started doing business with them. So we're split on a Pena Red, and getting those 2 out of release is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. I would say number 4 card moment. I would probably go to the National this year as number 4. Mm-hmm. The National this year was so different for us because we knew what we were doing. We knew, who the people were. We were right in the middle of it. We got to talk to Mike Mahan, Michael Rubin, just all the stuff. We had a videographer following us, and this would probably be higher than number 4, but just the culmination of that experience in our card hobby journey was super, super special. So that would be number 4.
All right. My number 3 is Fanatics Fest. And I had a great time at Fanatics Fest, but a few things stood out. Getting early into the Museum of Greatness with Mike Mahan. I mean, so basically, we told the story on the podcast, I think, but not on our page. So we're walking around at Fanatics Fest, and there's thousands of people out in the lobby before it even opened. We're there an hour early, and we run into Mike, and he's like, "Hey, follow me." So we're following him and his security, and we're like going down these escalators. He's like, "Hey, they're with me." And
it was so cool.
It was so cool.
Thank you, Mike. If you watch, thank you, Mike.
Mahan.
You're the man.
And we're going down, and he's like, "Come in here." They're literally setting out they're just having Brady game worn Super Bowl jerseys on hangers, walking them around. It
was unbelievable.
And it was just crazy getting in there, watching them set it up. And right when we walk out, we see the media entrance with all these famous influencers coming to finally see it. And we got to see it an hour before then.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
And then another event that happened that night was we need to do a lot more of these, but the food review with Danny P at John's of Bleecker. Absolutely amazing. The best pizza I've ever had.
The best pizza in New York City. That's my Danny P.
Yeah. 9.4. But we definitely need to do another one. If you have any food recommendations, or if you want to see Danny P do more food reviews, comment down below. All right, that's my number 3.
Number 3 for me. And it's actually number 2 and number 1. It's kind of all in there. Number 3 for me, I was going to say, is the Sports Card CEO. Earlier this year, Gary and Kern reached out and they said, "Hey, we're thinking about starting a podcast, and we really want you to be a part of it. You have a background in radio, and we really want you to kind of host it and tie it all together. Do you want to be a part of it?" The fact that they asked me to be a part of it is a huge honor. Man, I was just so honored, in the experience we've had putting out however many episodes, who we've been able to interview. I just can't even believe that we get to do that. So I would say the Sports Card CEO as a blanket would be number 3.
All right, number 3. My number 2 is the Atlanta trip this summer. And as a whole, going to the All-Star, going to the Home Run Derby with my brothers and my dad, that was pretty cool. But the trip started off amazing, finished great. So, but obviously pulling the Zaire Hope and just everything that we haven't shared about how Gary had 25 cases in his garage, and I happened to pick, and he's like, "Lil Matt, pick one." And I just went all the way to the opposite side of the garage and picked, the only one over there.
That one.
And just stuff like that. And then about how his 8-year-old son pulled it and then getting a 10-10. I mean, all that's cool. And then the day after at the shop, I obviously didn't get to do the interview, but just ripping with those guys, having fun. I mean, it was truly a great day.
Shout out Rhett, baby, hot fingers. But yeah, that was my number 2 as well, the Atlanta trip. So literally opening cases of Bowman, hitting the Zaire Red, just such a high point. Then interviewing Mike Mahan at Cards HQ, going to the Home Run Derby, and then I got to go to the Major League Baseball Players Association Players After Party, and Outcast was on stage. I'm sitting there and like hanging out with all these MLBers, and I was like, what world am I living in? Like, this is just absolutely insane. So that was my number 2.
My number 1 is Friday at the National, and specifically Friday because it's the best daily card show we've ever had. And ending off with a nice Morton's meal was good. But that day, I mean, I just remember getting up and just thinking like, because that was the day we had to do all our damage. Because Thursday was kind of like an intro day, and Saturday all the deals are already gone, and that Friday we had a goal and we accomplished every bit of that goal. And I think that was the day we had a videographer as well. So just having that there and the deals we made, it was an absolutely incredible day at a card show. And the National as a whole was just absolutely amazing. So definitely the National, number 1 for me. Nice. And I have a good guess, and number 1 for you.
Number 1 for me, Joy to the World.
You're singing way too much for this Instagram reel.
Number 1 was interviewing Mike Trout on the Sports Card CEO. When Kern told me that Trout was going to join us after he hit 400 home runs, I was just thinking to myself, like, man, here we are with this podcast and this opportunity. But this all started because 3 years ago, I said yes to little Matt wanting to dive into cards. And I think about everything I would have missed out on. It was like this kind of moment where I looked at it and said, man, I'm just so grateful and so blessed. The fact that we get to do this, Mike was so cool, just sitting on the back deck of Trout National after a round of golf, chatting with us. And I've had people come up to me and say, man, I saw you got to interview Mike Trout. He was, and it's like, I don't even know what to say other than I'm just like super grateful. What a cool moment. And if 26, gosh, man, to think that 26 could top 25 is really, really hard to believe because we got to do some really, really cool stuff. And so little Matt and I were talking the other day. He's like, yeah, we should do a reel. And I said, man, why don't we just recap the year and really just our stories and cards and try to do it in a concise video. And I'm just super thankful that we get to do what we do, get to connect with all you folks. And we just love sports. We love cards. We love the hobby. And it's just fun to be a part of.
Absolutely. Well, happy holidays to you and your family, and thank you for watching Ham House Sports. Peace.